Live. We are live. Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Today, my name is Nikolai Volodkin, developer advocate here at Sauce Labs. Today, we're joined by the awesome Paloma Oliveira, who is an open source evangelist. And we were talking, and she's never done automated testing, right? And so she wanted to learn, and let me stop the music. She wanted to learn, and also she has a task that she's having some trouble with, and we thought that maybe we can apply some automation to solve her challenge while also teaching her how to do some automated testing. So feeding two birds with one scone. So I'll pass it to Paloma. Paloma, tell us what we're trying to do here today and what is our mission.
Thank you, Nikolai. You came in the quest for help that I'm trying to solve. I will maybe share my screen. It will be easier to tell you what I'm trying to say. So, window. I think I have to share and reshare one by one. Cool. So in the beginning of this year, we finished our first ever fellowship program at Sauce Labs, where we open source a project called Elemental Selenium. This project was created for Dave Heffner and then belonged to Sauce Labs, and it lacked a lot of updating. And we recreated not just the web app, but we got all the tips. It's basically a newsletter, and every week you receive in your inbox very opinionated, interesting information about how to use Selenium. And what we have done during 6 months, the fellows, was updating every single tip around 74. So now we have this beautiful website. Everything has been updated. And that's the problem. I have to stop sharing to share the other tab.
I think you should have the ability to share your whole screen.
Maybe I can share the whole window. Maybe that's easier. Just this window. Perfect. So this is now under this repository, is an open source project. We have inside of the front end everything that's in the docs. You can see everything updated in all the language, C#, Java, JavaScript, Python, everything. So it's beautifully done, right? And you think, oh, that's perfect. And then there's an issue. How do we send a newsletter to people? It's not a super trivial app. So what we're still using a former third-party service called Drip. That is this one. And what we do is that here we have email campaigns that it is mainly a marketing tool, but we're using just to send this content to people who subscribe to our newsletter that you can join here through the website, and you can choose which language you want the tips and you receive. But I cannot make Drip to communicate with GitHub repository. That's the issue. And I try to talk with the customer service. They do not, because of issues, they currently do not have a REST API that can do that very easily, and there's not an integration ready to do it. So that's the question. Can automation save us?
Okay. First of all, the website looks fantastic. So great job there to you, Paloma, and the fellows. I haven't seen it click through live, so that was really nice. Okay. And so what do we want to do with the code in the open source repo and inside of Drip? Like, what are we trying to connect?
The question is, so now what people are still receiving is unupdated. We have done a lot of revision in the code, but also in the content. We applied inclusive language to improve how we're communicating with people. We could recategorize it into begin. Anyway, the whole content of this in the repo, it's not reflecting what we currently have here in those
Mhm.
workflows or campaigns. So that's one thing, right? I don't want to do that by hand. It's 74 tips multiply by 5 language is a humongous amount of work for one human to do. We can, but it's a lot of time. And the
Yeah.
second issue is what happens when we have a contributor that wants to call in everyone, welcome to contribute with a new tip. What happened to it? How do I get notified? I have to stop everything and recreate and go into Drip and create it again. That's how it works currently. But we don't want that. We want it to be an automated project. When something is merged into our main repository, I want that to reflect to get into the workflow so you can receive the fresh new tip on your inbox.
Okay, so the problem here is that you want the tips from the open source repo to make it inside of this email campaign automatically, right? So do you want like one tip? Yeah, one tip per email. How does it work?
Cool. Right now we have the way it is set. So we're using the resources that this tool does, right? And it's a pretty good tool. It allows us to create, for example, Elemental, Selenium, Python. We have 24 different emails. That means that we have 24 different tips. Um, and every week, one of those tips, when you subscribe to it, and that's automated by Drip, when you apply to it, it starts, oh, hey, Nikolai, welcome. Right now, you subscribe, you start to receive. So every week, it goes 1, second week, 3, 4, 5. It goes in an order. So it's automated, created a workflow to every week. As soon as you register, it personalizes for you, receiving those tips on your email. So what we want to do is here, oh, I added a new content in Python. Then this new tip should go on top of the list. So you have always fresh new tips on your inbox.
Okay, so is step one to populate an email list, Elemental Selenium Python version 2 with our new tips? Is that step one?
Yes.
To do that automated. And then step two is to make it so that if some code is added to GitHub, to automatically add that to the email list.
That sounds proper. Yes.
Okay. The second one actually sounds a lot more complicated than the first one. But maybe we revisit that later because we have step one to do, which is to get the tips from here into GitHub. And okay, just another question. I know we want to do automation here, but have we attempted to see if there are other options outside of Drip that have this kind of functionality where it can just import a GitHub repo and you can turn it into an email newsletter?
I tried and I couldn't do it. Not the way we want to make it. Please, if anyone is hearing and have this option, please let me know. I mean, I find
Yeah,
Drip very good.
put in the comments. Put in the
Yeah,
comments
please.
if you can help us. Yeah, please help us if you see us doing anything silly.
I did
Um,
some research, and
yeah.
Dylan, who used to be a developer advocate here with us, pretty awesome partner in crime for this. He found it was a library, but what it does, I think there's some integrations that, for example, trigger the workflow when a push, when there's a commit in GitHub. It just triggers the workflow, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And outside of the new one, adding a new GitHub code to Drip, we can solve that problem later. Now we want to take tips and put them inside of an email newsletter, right? As step one.
Right. I thought what I had in mind, like breaking down in small pieces, is can I create any content outside of Drip? That was my, I think, first interaction, just not to touch the campaign series. So I was kind of trying to understand the documentation for developers on Drip
Mm-hmm.
and understand which kind of resources we have just for that, right? Like I want to create content because right now the way they're built, I have to use their graphic user interface, their GUI. So maybe we could start there, like really iterate little by little. What do you think?
So what do you want to do?
I thought about doing something really, really small, not even
Yeah,
sending an email, but outside of this email campaign, just trying to
yeah,
create some kind of content through API. So just
yeah,
this connection. Mhm.
yeah. We can. Yeah, I see the API here. We can. I think we can go the API route, or if we have to, which it would be fun but painful to do it through the UI. But ideally, if we can do it through the API, that would be the best. What's this? So would we want to create this single email campaign or an email series campaigns?
Let's see what they have that is the easiest as possible. Um,
Try click the email series campaign. I'm curious what that looks like. The one right below.
okay. Yeah, that's the maximum I can open here. So we can
You can list, fetch, activate. What does activate mean?
activate.
Yeah, I don't see a create. Activate email series campaign. None. I don't see a create. There's a list, fetch, pause, list all, subscribe, and list all. So it doesn't look like you can add, right?
Mhm. That's why I think I have to remember now. No, that neither. There was one item.
Get operations.
Hmm.
Is this searchable? Is this documentation searchable? Can you
Yep.
search for create? Can you create anything?
Subscriber order, product, cart, or workflow. Hmm. Which other kind of tags do you think I could search for? Maybe, yeah, create would be a good one.
How about new? New webhook.
Webhook,
Hmm.
data, subscribers, order.
How about a
Ooh.
post?
Uh-huh.
How about a put?
Put.
Yeah. Updated workflow trigger. Custom IDs. Oh, there's more. You can scroll.
Well, in this case,
Only in this case. On the other cases, we couldn't scroll.
no.
Fetch an email series campaign. Yeah, what is that one? Fetch an email series campaign. It only fetches, huh? It's a get. List
Let's grab
all forms.
that. Subscribers,
Well,
account.
I might see some people joining us, so I'll quickly summarize because they might have missed the introduction. Hey, everyone, thanks so much for joining. Quick summary for everyone that's new. What we're trying to do is Paloma here is a wonderful open source developer that hasn't done automated testing before. I've done a lot of automated testing, way too much, some might say. And also, she has a challenge at work where she needs to get code from the new Elemental Selenium GitHub repo that her and some fellows worked on to revamp into this email drip campaign. And so yeah, she redesigned with some fellows Elemental Selenium, and there's new tips in there, and we want to figure out how to get these tips automatically into the email drip campaign to populate it, because there's like, how many tips are there, Paloma?
74,
Times 4 programming languages
5.
times 5, 74 tips times 5 programming languages. So we want to automate this. And so now we're exploring options. We're trying to explore the REST API if we can do that. If not, we'll have to try and use the UI to make this happen. Did I summarize that well, Paloma?
You summarize it perfectly. We also ask for people, if you know services or libraries that would do this connection in between a GitHub repository and a newsletter, that would be much welcome for us, especially if it's open source.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, help is welcome. We're literally trying to figure this out live. But doesn't look like we can make any kind of updates to our email newsletter using the API. Right, Paloma?
I don't see nothing alike. I think at some point I saw something creating that it was not exactly in the email campaign, but now I do not even see that. So I don't think so. Let's
All
try
right.
what would be your next option?
Let's go the UI route then and see and have some fun and some hair pulling. So Paloma, you're JavaScript dev. So we have some options that we can use here. We can do something like WebDriver IO. I would say a novice at that. We can figure it out together. We can do something like Playwright. I'm better at that. We can do something like Cypress. I'm mediocre at that. What should we use?
Well, I did a small contribution to WebDriver once. I'm quite a fan of the project. But I would say let's try it out with what you know the most now, just for trying out something. What do you
Playwright?
think?
Yeah,
Could
sure.
be.
We can use Playwright, and it'll help people learn. It's a relatively new tool, so let's do it. So go ahead and pull up your IDE, and
Okay.
let's get something set up.
Ui, ui, ui. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh. Okay. Mhm. Would you like to share yours? Because right now, oh no, wait. Sorry, I thought it was just web. Cool. No, if I share now, I'll probably share my whole window, I believe. Let's try.
Okay, unless you have some private stuff you don't want to share.
I have just one monitor today because I'm in the middle of a moving. And I'm like, I don't
No problem.
No, but I think that's okay. There you go. Where would I start, Nikolai?
Yeah, why don't you start a new repo?
Okay.
So start a new code base, and do an npm init and all that stuff.
Do you want me to create like a node project?
Yeah, create a node project, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
It's too big.
Yeah, automating. Okay. No.
npm init -y.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and then go ahead and open it up on your in your VS Code.
Should be here. Okay. No, it should be here.
More people
Okay.
are joining. So.
Cool. Let me reshare. Yay. Done.
Beautiful. And then you can run this command. I'm going to put it in the chat here and then display it on the, can you see that?
Yes.
So this will install Playwright. Yeah. What do you prefer? Okay, cool. Sure. You just hit enter. We'll put it. Add a GitHub action workflow.
Not now, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, not right now. Install Playwright browsers. Yes. Perfect. So yeah, now it's gonna install some Playwright code and also the browsers.
So interesting. What you're doing is using automation frameworks that we usually just think about testing, not just for testing, but for the purpose of automating something, an action.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if your only option, which seems right now our only option, is to use a browser to perform UI actions, then yeah, a library like that is the best way to do it. Because how else? There really won't be any other good way. These libraries are made to interact with the browser in an easy way, so they're the best route. Cool. So it installed a bunch of stuff. If you go into tests folder.
Okay.
There should be an example test. Open that. There you go. So this is a Playwright test. Look, the first one checks that there's a title. It goes to the page, has a title. Then it gets a link. Below that one, yup, exactly. Keep going. Yeah, it looks like it's two tests. And you can run it using this command. Here, I will do what I did before. And display it. Try to run the tests. And you should get some browsers that pop up. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah. Let's see.
Did I write it wrong? No.
What? Correct test to test? No.
No.
No, don't correct that. And I think Aaron I think Aaron has joined us, but Aaron, you need to connect your mic cam before you can be added to the live stream and participate. Yeah, Matthew asks if there is APIs that can be inspected via Chrome developer tools to utilize APIs where possible. Yeah, Matthew, we looked at the API documentation for Drip, and there are a bunch of gets and some posts, but none of it is valuable to us. We want to put them all into email newsletters, and we didn't see anything that allows us to do that. Paloma, Paloma, do you have the link to Drip? Maybe Matthew can look at it for us to the API docs. If you want to share that with me, I can put it in the chat.
I can have that. I will add it here in the comments. Connect. Nice.
Matthew, thank you so much. Yeah, please, maybe you'll catch something we didn't see.
Yeah. Well, our custom service told me this is not possible nowadays. I'm just trying to prove them wrong.
Well, you can brute force through the UI most things, unless they have like two-factor authentication. So okay, Paloma, you ran your tests. Look, you can open the HTML report to view the results. See the command right there?
Yep.
Yeah, grab that command.
No, I don't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and paste it. It'll open up a report that you can view.
There you go.
Let's see it. Nice. So this is a report. You can click on each one. So by the way, just to point out a few things to you, you can see this one ran on Chrome, right? And you can expand each of these things here. And keep expanding the steps. It'll basically show you what it does. Yep. So the browser, then it goes to the URL and then expects to have the title and then some cleanup stuff afterwards. And then if you go back, yeah, you'll basically see all the tests that you ran. If you click the all in the upper, in like the middle, yeah, there. So you see you ran 2 tests on Chrome, 2 tests on Fire. They're all the same because you had 2 tests, one going to the URL and then one checking for a link. So are these the first automated tests that you ever ran?
I use a little bit of Jest into my local project, but that gives me all of these options. Yeah, for sure.
Your first end-to-end browser test.
Yes.
Yay. All right. So we just got a developer running her very first end-to-end browser tests.
It is quite interesting to have so much information.
Yeah, this is okay. This stuff is okay. You know what you can do, which is even cooler, is if you go to what's the URL? It's my goodness, trace.playwright.dev. Let me put that in the chat for you, Paloma.
Yeah, I'm just correcting something. I try to post Saban is also asking if you have posted the drip, and I try to post it, but for some reason it's not allowing me, so I'll post it for you.
Yeah, post for me. Thank you, Saban. I'll post right now. There you go.
Do you want me to get into this?
Here is Paloma, you go to that trace playwright, and here is the developer drip. So can you go back to your Visual Studio Code?
Yep.
Please. So whenever Playwright runs, it produces a report. See there's a Playwright report folder now. In the left, yep, keep going up, yep. And then there's test results as well. Open the test results. Where are your test results? Weird.
Does it really give the results even just with the test ones, the ones that?
Yeah, it should produce it no matter what. Oh, maybe we need to configure a setting, but we can do something else, which is even cooler. It's more fun. Try this command, Paloma, which will run it in UI mode, which is, we'll have a little window that you can press buttons on and see it execute.
Oh, ooh.
So you'll actually be able to see stuff. And all automation libraries do this differently, this kind of experience, like WebDrive.io has its own experience for doing all of this coding tests and debugging. Cypress has its own experience. Similar, like you said, you did some stuff with Jest. Similar how like the unit test libraries will have their own experience for all of that. The UI test libraries do as well. Are you here? Cool. Yeah. So you ran the command. And so now you can see in the left, you got your test. You can press the play button. And then you can see them run. Give it a moment. It ran really fast. Now click the, I don't know, yeah, any one of them. Yeah, see, and then if you scroll in the top area, it'll show you basically exactly what it's doing. So this is like the steps that happened. And then get started link. Yeah, these tests are so small that it's like very fast and easy.
Yeah, almost cannot see. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's really all it does. Cool.
All right. Now, what do I do? How do I do, like, in the case of drip, like I want to log in and pretend that I'm creating something?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's log into drip.
Shall I create just a silly account so we can do it together with everyone and everyone can see his passwords and all, so we can do it like without the afraid of sharing stuff? Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Okay, let me super quickly create a new account then. Let me see. Do you want me to share the process so everyone can see it?
Sure.
Cool. So let's call it automation experience and email. Ooh, I do need an email. I've already linked it with that. We'll put,
Paloma, quick trick I'll teach you. Well, yeah, it's good. It's good for quality assurance and automation because we encounter this kind of thing a lot. And in a lot of workplaces, there won't be a dynamic way to generate emails. So there are services that you can dynamically generate fake temporary inboxes. One of them is called Mailosaur. So if you go to Mailosaur, you should be able to just enter an email and it will automatically exist and create you like an inbox. There's Mailosaur. Which other temporary email services do you guys know? I used to use another one, Mailinator. melanator.com as well.
Hmm.
I used to use that one. Oh, wow, crazy. They changed it. They made it totally different now.
Ooh, yeah, I'm trying, but for this
The-
one, I have to create an account, I believe.
oh, for Mailosaur?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The-
Um,
Mhm.
you shouldn't really. Oh, maybe they changed it. That's frustrating. You can also okay. Or do you want to use your Sauce Labs email?
I like the idea of creating one for the test. Let's
Okay.
see. Okay, now am I going back to? Okay. Okay. Let's give it a
And let's
password
just
of
hope that an email platform doesn't pick up that this is a fake email.
testing 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh. Uh, wow, that's a lot. Okay. Contacts 100K.
For the
I don't
website, do you
know.
want to add a domain? Yeah, it might complain.
Ah,
Just put google.com. Paloma doesn't know how to
I
fake
don't.
information. You just you just power through it with
Thank
fake
you.
information, Paloma.
Uh, oh no. Street. I would at least tell them that I'm in Berlin. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then Island. Okay, cool.
They'll never find us.
Yay. Nice.
Fantastic. All right. So first step, if you want to get in here, is you want to log in, right?
Yes.
So what you can do is use mm, 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 mm. Um, like this. You can use this command. It will start a after CodeGen, put the website that we want to automate, which is Drip,
Mhm.
and it will open up a tool that will allow us to record steps.
Oh. But I have to say that that looked like a little bit of witchcraft. Let
Which
me.
part?
It starts popping up a lot of tabs. And like, oh, I was not expecting that. Let's see. Let me share what I have with you again. What it had popped up. Mm, demo playwright. Okay, here you are. That's what I should be
Fantastic.
seeing.
Yes, and I believe now. Oh, but you were supposed to put in the website of Drip, not.
Oh, damn. Another demo playwright.
Yeah,
My bad.
all good.
Stopping. Doing it again. I believe is Edrip.com. Mm. Bear with me. Mhm. There you go. That opened. Okay.
Awesome. And do you have like a little window with a record button somewhere that popped up?
Mm, not that a little window with a record button. I do. The playwright inspector.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, click the record.
Recording.
Okay, awesome. Now find the login button and click that. I guess the sign in button.
Signing. Okay.
Now type in your email. Is it recording stuff into that window?
Supposed to. Yes.
Nice. Okay, cool. Type in your email, please.
Oh gosh. Now I need to remember what's the email that has been created. No, I failed. I closed it. Sorry, people, that is live. Activate my account.
You could probably
Okay.
get it from Drip because you logged in, right?
No, not anymore. Yeah. Cool. Take that out of the way. Where am I? Uh-huh. That's the email we created. Automation 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot. Testing 1, 2, 3. For my
Awesome.
sister to be proud of me.
Is the playwright inspector still recording stuff?
Should I see something? It doesn't say it's not. It says it's recording, but
You should see some lines of code in there.
no, that I don't.
You don't have any lines of code?
No. I can show you what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That's it from the beginning.
Let me see. Okay, and that's all you have? There's no other windows that are open?
No, that's the only one. Should I have all this?
Yeah, you should have more. See the record button? Can you click that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, click that. Put your cursor after line 4, please.
Yeah.
Like inside of the curly braces.
Okay.
But like, yeah, hit enter. Hit enter, hit the up key, and push tab.
No, it's not giving an input.
Can you turn off the recorder? Try now.
Yes. Also,
No?
No.
Okay, let's try to hit record and try to perform a step on the browser. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so
I was hoping it. Oh, there we go. Nice. It's doing stuff. Perfect. So
okay.
yeah, basically what you want to do, let it record. What you want to do now is go through the steps of logging in after navigating to drip.com. So
Okay. After navigating, okay. So like we want to actually create the email now? No. Do you want me to log in again?
yeah, I want you to stop this,
Okay.
close this.
The recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. And now run that code gen command again in Visual Studio Code.
Got it.
npx playwright code gen.
Opening up. Do you want to see the recording tab or the browser tab? I'll share the browser one.
Show the browser. Yeah, just confirm for us that the code gen is actually recording whenever we're doing stuff. Because as you saw, like when you clicked on something, we're supposed to see code inside of there. So try to click sign in. And that should populate something in the Playwright Inspector. Did it populate a line of code?
No. In there. Okay. No, it did.
It did it? Nice.
I was a little bit confused because I played record and then it was not read and it got a little confused with the recording. Cool.
Okay, nice.
Now we can go back doing that.
Yeah. Awesome. Is it recording all these steps?
It is.
Nice. Fantastic.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. So we logged in. That's okay. I think it's a good point to stop. Okay, let's pause the recording. You can turn off the little red button, and we can turn it into a test that we can run. So go back to the Playwright Inspector, and now it has code that we can use.
Yes.
Copy that code, and let's put it in one of our dummy Playwright tests that was created for us. If you share your VS Code, I can walk you through it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone, sorry. Paloma only has one screen today because she's moving to the mountains, and they're only allowed to have one computer. Otherwise, they will use all the electricity. I'm joking.
So should I create another?
No, you don't even have to create anything new. See, the first test has title. Let's just replace the inside of that with our code. Yeah, so just copy what you had in the Playwright Inspector and paste it in here, please.
In the bottom?
No, you can literally, we don't need these dummy tests. So you can literally put it inside from line 5 to line 8, replace all that code. Yeah, exactly. Replace all that with our new code. Yeah. Get rid of line 5. Get rid of line 7.
6, I believe.
And get rid of line 17.
Sorry. Did I get rid of the 6?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, line 6. Yep. Line 6. And then the curly brace on line 16. Okay, you can do that. Cool. And now you can even change the test name. Instead of calling it has title, let's say can log in. Cool. And so it's interesting. So you see on line 6 and 7, it clicks the main button 2 times. I think that's wrong. So you probably comment out line 7 just in case. I don't believe that you ever did any clicking twice of anything. Then you can see that line 8, it's getting the sign-in link and clicking it. Line 9, it's getting the email address field, clicking it, then filling it with your username. Then it's getting a button by the name of continue and clicking that. Line 12, it's getting the password field and clicking that, filling the password field, and then pressing enter. So let's try it. You can try to run this test by using the previous command I gave you, which was
Should I
npx
just,
playwright test dash UI, I think.
can I just have, not to miss this page, just have another terminal to run it? Or should I?
Yeah, sure, if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Can
Um,
you up arrow in your other terminal so we can see the command you previously used to do UI mode?
yep. That was not this
Yeah, no, you missed it. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. No,
this
go
one.
back. Yeah, exactly that one. Perfect. Yeah, run that.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
And what you know what would be even more fun?
I'm so impressed. So I always freak out and I'm very afraid when you say test and I didn't have to write one single line of code.
Yeah, you didn't. That's true. The some tools have a recorder, other tools don't. You'll need to write some code at some point to make this scalable. But to get started with, it's easy. Yeah, you can just record. Yeah, try to run it. Let's see what happens. And let me see here what I wanted to do. Look, it's doing stuff. Yay. Uh, and it got stuck after enter.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense. We don't have an assertion to wait for anything at the end.
What does it mean? That let's go
That
back to
our test, it
Mhm.
executes the commands, which it did, but then we don't have anything after we log in to wait for the login page, for the campaigns page, whatever that page is, for it to be loaded. And so that's why our test kind of stops. But if we were waiting for that page to load, then we would actually see that page come up.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Cool. So now could be a good time to open up our browser again, and we can write your first line of code.
Do you want me to open the browser?
Yeah, please.
Okay. This one? Oh no. Mhm.
Lots of new people joining. I'm just gonna post what we're doing, which is we're teaching Paloma how to automate a browser. She ran her first end-to-end tests and using Playwright, and now we're trying to automate moving GitHub code into an email drip campaign automatically. We try to use APIs. Their APIs are not valuable. So we're going to brute force it and give it a shot. Let's see. Cool. So yeah, Paloma, so we want to wait for this page to load. So if you right click and open DevTools.
Yes.
And how about you can wait for this on-site campaign square. So take the, I don't know what you call it, that arrow thing with the square in the upper left of the DevTools. The inspector tool button. I don't know, arrow, inspector arrow. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
To see to the left of elements, there are two more buttons. Click the button to the left with a arrow and a square in your dev console. Yeah, exactly that one. Click that, and for hover over the image of the on-site campaign. Yeah, perfect. Hover over the image. The image is better because it's slower. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, click that, please. So see now it shows that there's an image. Oh, there's an ID. We can do an ID. Move like two elements up. See, there's a button with an ID, launchpad card form. Yeah, there you go. That one. Yeah, that's what we want. Grab, copy that ID, please.
Okay.
And then go back to your tests. And then you can do a new line of code. Copy line 13 and repaste it. Perfect. And then instead of page.get by label, can you change that method to something else?
ID? No.
Click period. Remove it and click period. Let's see which method we'll use. Get by period. Get by
Row? No.
get by.
I get a button. ID? I cannot just get by the ID?
You can get by the ID, but you have to use the right method. Yeah, use test ID. Get by test ID. See if that works. I don't think that's going to work. Get by test ID, and then paste in the ID that we got. I don't think it's going to work because I think that's launchpad. Is that the whole string
Of the ID? Yes.
Yeah, of the ID? It had the dash form in there.
It did. There's a class as well, launchpad card.
Okay, we can try that, and then you know what you can do is you can wrap that in an expect.
What?
You can do like this. I will drop the code in for you. You can do expect.
Oh, expect.
Yes, expect. Yeah, exactly, as you did. Where do you just had an expect? Scroll down. Yeah, right there. Exactly. That's what you want. You want expect. We can do that. That's actually good.
Okay.
Put that expect page get by role, and the role is button. ID is the ID.
Instead of name, should I get an ID?
Yeah.
I don't
It
think it
doesn't like
works.
ID. It doesn't like ID. Hover over that. What can we pass in? Is not assignable. Can you stay hover over it so we can see the docs? Let me check. Get by role. Get by role.
Understand. then this get by row accepts only a Boolean. Maybe we go back by label or by, can you by type?
Label. Well, did that element have a label? Can you go back to the UI, please?
Yeah, sure.
Can get by text, by alt text.
Oh no. Oh. Snap. But anyway.
Get by role.
So when we are manipulating DOM, get by ID is a pretty standard, at least in JavaScript. When we are testing on it, that's not so standard.
What's standard?
For manipulating the DOM, the
Yeah.
get element by ID should be pretty standard. But when I'm testing it, it behaves differently.
No, it's also, we can also do that, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay.
As well, actually. Yeah, maybe name. The button doesn't have a name. It has a class, right? It just has an ID. That's the only problem, is it's a crappy button. Data drip element app ID. So see there, 1, 2, 3 more elements up, they have a data drip element app ID. Yeah, that's a unique locator that they generate to do automated testing for their app, because data dash attributes are commonly used to find locators. And so we can actually probably just do that. Select the whole data drip element app ID equals dashboard launchpad.
Okay. Let's go back. Copy the whole element. Okay, and then I believe it's not by role anymore, and instead of button is a div.
You can do, instead of page.getByRole, you can change to page.locator. And then, yeah, in here, you can remove everything after this string. So there's not going to be any arguments passed in. Yeah, even remove the comma. Yeah, and delete the comma. Perfect. And in there, you can just put, I think it's like this. What did you have? Data dash test ID, something like that. And then you had the value. But you can do, yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
Where do I put the data test ID?
No, nowhere. I just didn't remember the value that they used because they had their own unique data drip Elm app ID. I didn't remember that, but you got it. So yeah, now we're waiting for that locator to be visible. And
okay, so that has to be string. Okay, should I run it again?
Give me 1 second. I want to check something.
No. We're passing it a full string, but that's where launchpads should be a string by itself. I'm not sure if it affects something.
Can you pass this ID as a string, like page locator ID, blah 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 dot click. Chatumal. That's exactly what we're trying to do. But they have a unique attribute that they're using, and we're trying to do the same thing. And Paloma, I think we have to do ours like this, and then if that doesn't work, we'll do what Chatumal suggested. So just wrap it in square brackets and put. So yeah, do exactly that, except using the values that we have. Where on
This whole thing should be in square brackets, right?
yes. Not the string, but yeah. But keep it's all going to be a string, but the square bracket will be inside of the string. Yeah, and put the square bracket in here. Not on the outside.
Wait. I'm very confused. So you want this? I believe that just this ID should be as a string, no?
No,
No.
no. Only the value of the ID.
Yes, just this one, right?
Yes.
And not this one.
Paloma, the whole locator here. I'm gonna write it out. Hold on.
So
The whole locator should let's try what Chatumala is suggesting. ID blah blah blah. Let's go back to the way it was, Paloma, as Chatumala is showing like this, and try that. He's saying it works in Java.
okay. So I give it up of this.
No, you leave all of that. No. Keep all of that. Delete the square braces and wrap the whole thing in a string.
And then
yes, perfect. All right.
we want
We're
this
good.
to be visible or clickable.
No, yeah, to be visible.
Okay.
So now you can run the command again, npx playwright test -- UI, and let's see what happens.
Subscribe. Can log in. Let's see.
Yeah, see, now it's waiting and it failed. Okay. So unknown engine, yeah, while parsing selector. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't know that. So 1 second. We're gonna fix that right now. Hey, Christian, why don't you join us and help teach me and Paloma how to do this?
Yes, we were needing some Christian to actually help us prove drip wrong and that we can
Christian,
automate this process.
I'm gonna put a link to join our session if you want, and if you want to come help us, we'll gladly. Well, we automated a UI, but I'm sure with the WebDriver IO we can quickly redo all this work and show that too. Hey, Christian, if you want to join us, please join us here and help us.
Yeah, we were not speaking Playwright. We preferred just for more experience to be faster, but we would definitely start the show saying that we would prefer WebDriver IO.
Yeah, I'm more experienced with Playwright than WebDriver IO, but certainly happy to use WebDriver IO as well.
I wanted just to try it out what Chatumal is proposing. Let me try to apply that, what you're proposing.
It's weird that what we didn't work. Can you show me the code again, Paloma?
Yep.
Please. The other easy way to do it is data elem app ID. Data.
Got it.
So weird that it's not working. We also had an ID, right, Paloma?
We did.
Do you still have that website up? We can do with ID.
It's kind of out, but I still have access to the dev too. Where am I? Ta-da. Yes, but then it was the bottom ID that didn't work neither.
I think we never tried that. Just do ID equals. Oh, amazing! We got Christian joining us. Hey, Christian, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. What a
hacking the stream.
Yes, what a fantastic and pleasant surprise. So cool. Let us just finish this locator here, and then we can take over with WebDriver IO. Paloma, can you go back to the browser?
Yeah.
And by the way, if everyone is not familiar,
here.
Sorry, Paloma.
I got very excited with Christian here. What?
Yes. Yeah, we got Christian Broman here, the maintainer of WebDriver IO. Yeah, see the ID there, button ID. Yeah, just grab that string, Paloma.
Yep.
Yeah, copy that. And then go back to your IDE.
Should we use it as locator as well?
Yes. Use it as locator, and then just put ID equals. Yeah, right in front. Yes, ID equals. Perfect. All right, now let's give it a run. Yeah, and with Christian's JavaScript experience, this will be way easier. Paloma, you stopped screen sharing.
Yes, I want to share the test.
Perfect. All right, this will work. And then we'll restart.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
I actually never saw the Playwright UI myself, so this is new for me.
Oh, there you go.
But it's
can't
also
log in.
No.
It still failed. Scroll down. Wait. Oh, scroll up. Look at the page. Scroll up. Yeah, pull that down. Look, we keep an eye on new and existing drip accounts. Rates in the biz, good delivery. Our system thinks saw something odd in your
Your
account.
boss.
Yeah, you're busted, Paloma.
Damn.
They know you're a bot. That's why it wasn't passing. I wonder if previous iterations that was the reason why it didn't pass.
So I wonder if automation would not work neither if they're blocking for security for some reason. But we're doing many tests here. So Christian, if you missed the first part, we created just a new account. We want to automate Elemental Selenium. And apparently the API do not help me. So we're trying automation to see if we can force automating it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Automate everything.
How can we do that? Can you
so
say
maybe Christian, you now take Paloma through automating a login through WebDriver.io.
Well, what's the drip app? Like, I need to. Is this just a random choice, or
this is what
which
we're
app do you want
using?
Yeah, maybe give Christian a high level overview because I think he maybe wasn't in the beginning.
Cool. So I don't know if you remember Elemental Selenium.
Yes, I do.
We, during the fellowship program, we revamped it all and we updated all the tips. Awesome. But we updated and opened up the project. Now it is in an open repository, hoping we will have more people to contribute and create more content. But we need a service to send the newsletter to people's inboxes and having the proper workflow. So it's not actually such a trivial thing to do from scratch. We have to every time, hey, Christian, welcome. Now you start from blah, blah, blah. So the idea is that every time we have to sync what is in our repo into the website, but into the newsletter. Well, repo and website are the same, but now in the newsletter, how do I do that? I need to say, hey, got in here, the new one. And I cannot do that. They do not provide a REST API that allow me to edit stuff. So we're trying to automate it. We have been using Drip since the beginning of the times when Dave Hoffner created the project. So we're just keeping up. And I couldn't find another service of a newsletter that actually does that. So that's my last resource, automation. This is why we're trying to use Drip.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, I'm not sure if WebDriver can solve the problem, or I don't know if I don't know how the bot detection works. It could be fairly possible that they will detect WebDriver automation as well. But I know that the user agents might be. I don't know what the user agents for Playwright browsers look like, but they might be able to detect that.
But we could log in once, right? I think we just tried too many times in a short time, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, they probably monitor your behavior because you always have the same. If you run it locally, at least you have the same IP all the time. And if you come in with the new browser session, and we log in, then they might be detected through some AI mechanism. Yeah, a custom UI might work, but again, like if you still have the same username, if the same user logs in multiple times within the short duration, that seems like a fraud. That's something you can easily detect as fraud.
I say, since we have Christian, we try with WebDriver.io, but know that maybe this is not the right approach. That maybe we can't even use Drip because of this, or we have to find some other alternative.
It's Andrew here. Is Aaron here with us now?
Yeah, Aaron is here with us. I don't know if he can speak, but he was chatting about changing the user agent. Mic is working. We can't hear you, Aaron.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. So I looked at this, and you can use Python or curl to make requests to the Drip API, and you can send emails. So what we'd have to do is reverse engineer that process, the curl process. So basically, you would take curl, reverse engineer that, and then use that within your Selenium or your WebDriver, and just repeat that process. Now, as far as detection, like bots and stuff, 99.9% of the time they use UA, user agents, to detect that. You can modify your user agent typically in your application, put in a different UA. Typically, what I'll do is I'll mirror Chrome, the current version of Chrome, and this will bypass most automation detection. And again, Christian, you are correct. They may look at the requests limit. So you can actually put a bit of a delay in there, and this will bypass most automation detection, by the way. Having circumvented a lot of security in my life and having to defend against this. So I did work out a quick Python script that will allow me to log into a Drip account. Do we have creds and stuff for this test account?
If we have what?
Do we have credentials for the test account that we're using? Username, password?
Well, that cannot be public because we're still preserving people.
Okay.
No, the automation user, Paloma.
We created one for now that it's currently blocked.
Okay.
I can give you the email and password.
Yeah.
That I will put it here in the chat. We already share with our users watching right now. And the password is a very secure one, testing 1, 2, 3.
I love that password. Thank you very much.
Super secure.
Being a security pro, right? So the way Drip works is it assigns an account ID. You were correct looking at that ID number. There's an ID number associated with the account. Let me log out here. I will log into this account.
Hey, Aaron, if you're doing something, you can share your screen.
I need to vet some stuff. Hold on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me sanitize my screen real quick. Actually, your account got blocked, so you guys got busted.
It totally blocked.
When I log in, you're busted. So you'd have to create a new account. So I can share my screen, I think. Present.
Hey, Paloma, can we just not share the real Drip credentials with Aaron and just hide them in an environment variables file so that nobody on the live stream can see it?
Yeah, Aaron has it.
Yeah, okay. I know. I'll use our account then.
We cannot just
I will sanitize everything.
Yeah. We'll put in a environment variable or environment variables file, and then it won't be visible in the code.
All right. So workflow. So basically what I did was I replicated using curl kind of the process. And you still need to authenticate to this endpoint. Can anyone see the live chat on here? Or is this private?
No, the chat is only between us. You would only, if you share your screen, we could see that.
So that endpoint there in the chat is basically where you're going to post to. That's your account. The first number there, 581, is your account. And that's the email that you would like to modify. Makes sense.
Nikolai, I think that is the one you should not share.
Oh, really?
It's yeah, I wouldn't share that. That's live. It's a
Oops.
live fake test, but that's okay because it's your account ID.
Oops. We'll need to do a password reset after this live stream.
No, that's fine. That is just your account ID. It's fine.
Okay, nice.
That's
So,
fine.
Aaron, do you want to share your screen and show us what you're doing?
It's just give me a sec here.
You will. It's just making sure.
Yeah, I would have been. I do apologize if I realized we're live. I would.
I'm so sorry for the confusion. I think when we say live, like we're so used to just say, yeah, Nikolai's always live. He lives in the web.
Live.
I'm not always live. I'm live sometimes. But this is super fun. Like this is the coolest live experience I've ever had, where Christian randomly jumps in, and now we got Aaron, and we got 4 of us solving this crazy problem.
Okay, maybe Paloma, would you want to share your screen with what you guys were doing? So we're going to go through this process because I think you're close with your testing. It's just we need to change the endpoints to getdrip.com, for example. So can you use those creds, your live creds? There is a test account that I created.
Wait, I can, but what I was doing was very silly, and the idea with Christian here is to try to do the same, but using WebDriver IO.
Okay, if
Yeah.
not, if you want to use WebDriver, let's try it out with those creds.
Yeah, can we have Christian share his screen, and then all of us work together to make that happen?
Let's do it.
What do you think, Christian? You cool with that?
I can share my screen. Let me see
So
how that works.
I have to
Present.
share with you the credentials. Is that it, Aaron?
I
Yeah,
already registered my account there.
Oh, good.
Let me just do the first window. Do you see all that?
Yes.
Do you see my IDE now right now?
No, we see StreamYard browser.
Yeah, you want to pull. Yeah, you don't want to play the StreamYard Studio. It does that echoing thing.
Oh, entire screen. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Now it should work, right?
Yeah, now we see a IDE.
What was my? Okay, I forgot what the account was. Email setup. No. What's my username?
Top right,
No.
me.
User
settings.
Scroll
Drip.
down.
And then, okay, this is my test window. Oh, drip at Bromide. And then my password. The first thing I always do is just look at the accessibility label. So the computed properties, the accessibility label is password. So it just allows me to say the area label for this one is password. And my password is a little bit stronger. It's test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, that's
Very nice.
uncrackable.
Yeah, many people might not be able to count that far. So let's see. Then we have a button that says continue. So we can just leverage that. And it's on the same screen. I hope, yep. And we want to click on it. Thank you, ChatGPT. Oh yeah.
Are you using ChatGPT or Copilot?
Copilot, I'm sorry. So that should get me in, right? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the wrong password from email. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the charm. Okay. So I don't need that. So this is all I have. Do I need to verify?
Can you set your user agent with WebDriver?
I can do. I could do use Puppeteer for that. So WebDriver can connect to Puppeteer. I can use the two automation protocols using one WebDriver and the other one Puppeteer. So you can load Puppeteer and just use Puppeteer to change the user agent. We can play around with that.
Okay.
Dashboard drift should be the title.
I just don't want you to
So we would to get blocked again too early.
Yeah. So let's not get blocked. So what you can do is just mimic your current Chrome browser UA, whatever their current version is.
Hey, Aaron. So for everyone on the live stream that doesn't know what a user agent is and why we're doing this and what we're doing, including myself, can you explain to us, please?
So the user agent is what is set on your web browser. So when the server receives this, it receives it as this is the version of your web browser. So if it's Chrome or Mozilla or whatever, typically these type of applications don't set a UA, or their UA is set as a different user agent. What happens is IDS systems, WAFs, will detect it and they'll just say, hey, that's a bot. We don't want it into the system. So what we're doing is we're actually circumventing that by setting a UA that's legitimate. And so when we are running our tests, it's going to appear that we are running it as Chrome or whatever UA version that we set, therefore bypassing the detection.
And so you're saying that typically automated tests that start web browsers don't have a UA set?
Typically, yes, typically.
Okay, so if they don't have it set, we're setting one so that we can bypass the bot detection.
Yep.
And how does it work? So this is an open source project. Everything that would probably be inside of an action for when a trigger, for example, when I push to main, I need to run all of this. Does it mean that I need to create a different user agent all the time? Can that be an open information?
No, you just set a static user agent. Typically, that will work. There's an example of a user agent string. This is what the server reads, or what the web application firewall reads, or the detection will read. So it'll appear that we're coming as a Mozilla Macintosh. And this is one of the things. It's kind of like that when dealing with security and web application firewalls or some type of automation, you may run into that problem. So it's just good practice to set your user agent.
And Aaron, how did you get this string for this user agent?
What do you mean?
Like where did you find or get this whole string for this user agent?
You can just go to Chrome About, or under quick Google, what is my user agent? And it will show you the user agent of your, or About, yeah. It will show your user agent there as well.
Oh, nice. By the way, Christian, I love that you're using Brave as well.
What is my user
But
agent?
I'm changing to Arc now.
To Arc?
Yes.
What is that, and why are you changing?
That's my user agent, by the way.
Okay.
It's an interesting, they have an interesting way to be set up. So you see here Safari, you see Chrome in here, and you see Gecko. You think, which browser is it? Is it Firefox, Chrome, or Safari? But there's a story behind it, which I cannot tell you by memory, but I was reading it up and was kind of interesting.
There is a story behind it. It's correct. But even Brave, I think they're using the same UA as Chrome, correct? It's the same, identical.
I believe
Yes.
Arc uses V8, no?
Yeah.
Arc is a new browser experience. I just recently, I knew before they actually released the browser that they are building a WebKit, a Chromium-based browser. But this is a new way to organize the browser and gives browser features that usually browsers haven't had before. And I played around with it. I liked it. I like the CEO. He does cool videos on YouTube and he explains their process of building the browser. It's seems to be a cool company, and I wanted to give the browser a shot. And it allows you to modify the web as you want to have it. There's some cool features and neat features, and maybe I'm not going to sticking with it and just switch back to Brave because I like Brave for its security and features. If I turn out that I miss that in Arc, then I might switch back. But I wanted to give that browser a chance.
That's cool. Yeah, it looks very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to get I was trying to get on the login page and kind of like get issues to click on this button because it's not interactable for some reason, even though it seems to be.
Do you want to get the locator we used with Paloma?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was working for us. Paloma, yeah, if you want to drop
Before
the line of code,
Christian. Yes. Put in here in the chat.
Here.
Looks like, yeah, we used no, not that one, Paloma. That's on the landing page for the login button.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. For the sign in button that Christian was trying to click in the upper right.
I think it would. There was the whole thing was for the sign in was that one.
Get by label. No, that's a password button. That's password, Paloma. Can we have the button?
Well, the button was the first one, but this one to get the sign in, that was the flow. Like the page was drip.com, get by role main, click, sign in, click. Because you're having issues with the signing, no?
Clicking the sign in button.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
on the main
page. The first step after navigating to drip.com or whatever the URL is. What's that next line of code?
Get by row link, name signing, click.
Yeah, that.
I will put just this line here. Less confusing.
Wait, no. Which is this one? Get page per row link. Yeah, that's essentially what I do as well.
And it's not working for you?
Yes, and what I can try is to debug this by just getting the element first and then see login. And so what I can do is I can log button get HTML to see if I'm actually getting the right button. But I'm sure I am. Get location as well. So let's see what this brings me. Yeah, the interactable, being non-interactable as an element can have so many reasons, and it's almost impossible to tell why. You can try a lot of workarounds. So we get here this button, which is to the dashboard, and it's positioned at 0, 0, which is interesting. So it's not the right button. I'm actually not getting the right button. But most of the time when I'm getting element, say again?
I was going to say, can you use that data label?
Yeah, but the data label can also be there multiple times. And we can check this by saying document, query select all. And then we look at all 8 tags that have this data label. What was the label?
I don't remember the value.
Data drip
Sign in.
element. Oh,
Data label equals sign in, and then we see we have two buttons here, and you see the first button, which will be found, but which WebDriver finds is not, it's not available. Like it's somewhere in the DOM and it's not visible. The second one is though. So how do they differentiate? They have the same accessibility name, the same label. So the other way is to define where's the first one and how can we prove our selector. And to do that, we can look into how can I reveal that element in dash reveal element in panel. So this element is here. It's in the first menu side. So if we take this class, so the first link should be in this main navigation. This one is in the other. So now if I change this, so I first go here into the nav CTAS, and then I look for, now I can keep my area label again. That should hopefully work. So one of the, element is not interactable and you see the element still being there and available, it means that you might not have found the right selector. That there might be an element matching the same criteria and you find that instead of one. So it's always worth to take a look at what's there. So let's take a look there. I hope the click works now. It seems to be, now we're at least there. Okay, that's
Yay.
That's debugging 101 on the live stream. So let's just see. I also just saw that the email was not working. So we now might need to refine the selector for that one as well. So it now clicks at least, and it now get invalid element state, which is interesting. And I don't know on top of my head why an element could be in an invalid state, but I can look in here.
Was that for the email address?
Correct. Did you use a special selector for that, like a trigger selector?
Get by label email address.
Get by label email address. We have even an ID here, so let's see, just for the sake of it, document query select all. How many IDs do we have? Because sometimes apps have elements with multiple IDs. So IDs is obviously always the best thing to take. Probably the password has also.
Outside of the data dash attributes, right?
Yes. So, or test ID data attributes. It's definitely like, usually you should only use an ID property, an ID label once per page. Oh, there we go. Okay, we don't click on the continue link. We need to do that. This is missing still. The continue button, let's go in here. A good label for this one. Yeah, I would just go with an area label for now, even though it might be, there's just one continue button on this page. I'm certain. Area / continue, click. Let's try that. Let's see how fast we get. Yay. Okay, the same for password. Element not interactable. Let's go again.
Why did you say you need Puppeteer to add the user agent?
Yeah, Puppeteer gives you more introspection capabilities because it uses the DevTools protocol. So the DevTools protocol allows you to do whatever you want with the user agent. So that's why I need to go back to Puppeteer to use. But WebDriver uses Puppeteer as an interface to use the DevTools protocol. Yeah, I have an ID password here. Maybe we do wait for for displayed. Just make sure the element is displayed and ready. Try that. Element not interactable. Or there are multiple. Let's just check if there are multiple password IDs. There's just one, and it still gives me not interactable. Oh, the continue button. Test 1, 2, 3, continue. Interesting. Wait, let me rerun this. I thought we would go to the password page already. So we click like sign in, and we put in the email address, and I think I saw the page moving on. So let's just try to ignore what's happening. What's the errors doing? Again, those may not interactable error. Oh, okay. We already password. Okay, now I'm much further ahead. We already passed this. We're setting in our password, and then we don't. This is failing, which also gives spec. Yeah, I don't get a nice stack trace. So this button seems to be not interactable, but it has. Let's just do a little pause in here to check what's going on before we move on. Browser.pause. Let's see 4 seconds. Because it could be that the continue button hasn't changed at the point. It might be disabled because we haven't input our password, and that it takes some time to change from being disabled to enabled. Now it's not interactable. Maybe I just change. Maybe there's some duplication here. There's a duplicate. Two buttons here. Let's see how many buttons we have on the page. Button. We have multiple buttons here, and they. Let's iterate over them and see what text they have. They probably have more than e.text, no inner text. It's just one login button though. Interesting enough, but it could be still have the same area label due to. So the area label might be not might be not the best selector. So we can just switch it to button continue. And I just like to take these selectors because the way user interact with it. They see the continue label on the button, and that's why they interact with it. So that's why I prefer that over a CSS selector. Okay, let's try with the element text selector. Select an element by its text. 4 seconds waiting, and still not, I think. Need to do the same debugging.
I'm just rethinking now all the bad code that I have ever done, and I regret terribly now for repeating names or not giving proper names when we need to test.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about accessibility selector is like if you build an app and you have that always in mind, you not only make your test more stable, you also make it more accessible, which is the whole idea why it's recommended to use it this way. And who doesn't like to have accessible pages? Get location. Get position probably. Location. Okay, never mind. So let's see what button I get here. Just one more button to continue. Okay, we got the button. Here, visibility hidden. That's why it's not interactable. So we don't get the right button. Interestingly. So getting the HTML code of the element is always a good idea to figure out why an element is not interactable. Interesting. Okay, I thought I would. Why is this button different? Let's see.
Is there more than one button on the page?
You know what
Why
we can
can't
do?
you
We can
just
just
interact
test
with
our-
a button?
we can just fetch all the buttons that we have on the page by mapping over them. Map. Oh. Button and button get HTML. So now we map over all buttons that we have on the page that have the continue text and get the HTML for it and see how many we get. And if I have to, I will just hard code selecting the first element that I find, the first button that I find.
Hi, Thin Tran. He asks, is this framework more popular? I'm not sure what you mean. Which framework are you talking about? Sorry to interrupt, Christian. Yeah, Thin, if you want to re-ask your question, I will answer it.
There we go. We have two buttons. The first one is hidden. The second one has a class called this, so we can just use for the purpose of moving forward. We have a data action primary button, true. Okay. Interesting that I never found when I debugged the page myself, I never found this one. I will go with this CSS class for now, the class is not, like using CSS class is not ideal, but this is now what I move forward with so we can make progress. But yeah, a nice thing to do is just debug with the selectors and see how many buttons are out there.
Could you not have just found the element as a button and just clicked it?
But there are multiple buttons on the page.
But wouldn't it just click the first one?
Yes, and the first one was the one that is hidden.
Hidden. Oh, okay.
That's why the button is not interactable.
Okay, nice.
And I'm in drip.com now.
Yay, that's big.
The dashboard assertion is wrong because I don't know how to print the dot in my test. So if I do this now and I clean my stuff up,
we found a different locator, Christian, to locate if you want to do that.
What's your locator? I'm not sure.
We were looking for an ID, right, Paloma? What was the assertion we used in our test?
Just that we could not even get in there.
Yeah, that's true because we got blocked. Never mind, Christian.
Yeah, we got blocked.
But let's maybe it'll work for Christian.
What is it?
Yeah, I mean it works now. The CSS class is using a CSS class is not ideal, but it works for now, and it seems that I can log in multiple times without being caught as a bot.
Fantastic. So which is interesting. Maybe it's a playwright thing, huh?
I will put it on the list of why using a browser engine is just not the same as using a browser.
Very interesting. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've seen a difference like that. It's cool.
So
Um,
like
so
you did not even have to go through the adding the user agent. It just didn't block you at all.
Yeah, not you. I don't need to use the browser agent. Change the browser agent. It's just the commands are basically go to the get drip page, sign in, username, continue, password, wait for display, continue, and then click. I think we don't even need that because WebDriver does multiple retries if we cannot set the value immediately. So if I do it without the wait for, it should wait as well. It should work as well. No user agent change required. So, which brings me back to my initial assumption that what Drip is doing is looking into user agent, and the playwright user agent might be not what a normal user agent look like. So that could be a next interesting thing. Like if you have a playwright test and just check what the user agent says. But you, or we can go back and use your example that you created with playwright and set the user agent, because playwright can set user agents easily, and set the user agent to a normal Chrome and see if that might make your test work.
Good to know. And Thin here asks, can you give me advice which framework should learn Playwright or Cypress in 2023? So Thin, the advice that I would give, and love to hear Christian's opinion as well, is that it's very hard to pick a tool based on the perceived popularity or buzz about the tool, because what you really have to do is do a in-depth evaluation of the needs that you have for testing your application, the needs of your team. For example, are you going to be working with other team members? Are those other team members going to be using JavaScript? If they're going to be using JavaScript, then yeah, maybe you go the JavaScript route and you can pick those options. If they're not going to be using JavaScript, now are you going to be alienating yourself by picking a JavaScript library while the rest of the team uses other programming languages? And now they can't really help you if you need help, and you can't help them, and vice versa. Another thing I've done in the past was an evaluation of several frameworks: Playwright, WebDriver.io, Cypress, to automate a few different applications that I had to help a customer with. And we did an in-depth assessment. We analyzed, I want to say, like 50 different features of each tool. And ultimately, one of the applications we needed to automate was Salesforce. And Cypress couldn't navigate Salesforce because Salesforce changes URLs a lot. And so that eliminated Cypress. And so even though it might be a great tool, in my initial opinion, we couldn't use it at the end of the day because it didn't work. And we could have probably made it work with a lot of workaround code, but it wasn't worth it. And so we had to go a different route. And so just kind of points to the fact that you can't really just say, hey, I'm going to go with WebDriver.io or Cypress and that's it. You got to do an evaluation. What do you think, Christian?
Sounds correct. I think as an engineer, it's always a good way to be flexible and use the tool that is most handy to what your requirements are. And then there are people like me who have like strong beliefs in like open standards, and that's why I pick my choice and try my workarounds. But yeah, always do an evaluation, and always not always go with the hype, and see what your requirements are in terms of testing the page. If you're fine testing using a framework that does a certain automation approach, and for instance with Playwright gives you a WebKit instead of Safari, if your requirements are fine with that, then it's okay. But I know enterprise customers who will be say, no, that's not possible for us. We need to test on an actual Safari. Unfortunately, but that's how it is.
So, sorry, go ahead, Paloma.
No, I want to ask, like, so we did a little progress to understand that at least we can log in and maybe follow the automation path to try to solve that gigantic issue I have at hands right now. And apparently using WebDriver.io for some reason that I don't understand, why would a Playwright block it, but WebDriver.io not? We could follow through WebDriver.io to follow and try to do the whole path. Am I going into a right possible solution here?
Yeah, the reason why, I mean, we only make assumptions here, but the reason we believe WebDriver worked is because you use the real browser with the real user agent, and Playwright probably had a different user agent which got detected by the Drip platform, and it helped to tell Drip that you're the bot, you're an automation bot, and they definitely want to probably avoid that. So WebDriver used the real user agent because they used the actual browser on my operation system, so that's why you got probably caught. But then as a workaround, if you want to keep your Playwright test, you can always modify the user agent to mimic the real Chrome browser, and that might get you through this barrier.
And where would it be, like in the ideal case scenario, I can replicate it all the steps. Where does it goes in my deployment flow? Should I add it like in an action in the pipeline every time like I need to deploy it again? Where would it go, this automation, that I make sure I'm syncing my repository with the third-party service?
Yeah, if there's like a very well-defined moment where you want to run this process, the GitHub action would be perfect. Whenever like this file's change, you can make it that a certain action is being run. I use GitHub action also to just manually trigger certain processes like releases of packages, and you can configure your GitHub action to be like, have a drop down, and I want to click to run it now and whenever you like, and that. I think I would suggest that either, have like this manually, I want to run this process now, or find like a moment where you want to automate that and say, whenever that happens, I want to run this process.
And thinking about last question, feeling abusive now after 2 hours here, but last questions, because this is an open project, is there something about the security and this automation process that we should look out for when we think this is open?
Like in terms, like the only thing that you might give away are selectors within a private area that public users don't get into. As long as you hide your username, password, and credentials, whatever form, and other like, proprietary information, you can put this in environment variables and have the process really look like clean and not like reveal and expose any information that might be not for public.
Damn, I have hopes after months trying to think if that would be possible. Thank you. That's an awesome kickstart for the project. I really appreciate Nikolai for the invitation, Christian for popping up out of nothing unexpectedly.
That was amazing.
And everyone that is here and is suffering with us and giving suggestions and frying our brains trying to find a solution. Thank you all.
Yeah,
sounds like we have to do this again and continue. Are you down, Christian?
I'm definitely down. It seems like I had this multiple moments in very recent past that I just had to look on the test to make them pass again. So it seems like I have this weird aura that when I look at the test, it starts passing because the test gets scared of me. So I don't know if that's it, but yeah, I'm happy to do this again.
Fantastic. So I can organize our next one, Paloma, our next live stream, and we'll get Christian back on and we'll continue the journey. And I think the next steps would be using GitHub APIs to pull in data into our WebDriver IO tests and have WebDriver IO tests automatically fill out that drip campaign with all the stuff we want to fill it out. That'll be very crazy.
Sounds good.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Christian. Thank you for an impromptu joining of our live stream. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Paloma, thank you for pushing out all of us to do this and to help you. This was super fun. And thank you to our audience for tuning in and helping us and with suggesting things. It was really wonderful to interact with you all.
Thank you all. I'm going for lunch now.
Ciao.
Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Guten Tag. All right, ciao, Paloma.
Ciao.
I'll organize the next one.